What's going on, guys? It is Wayne from Wild Big Camp, and today is the start of a new series. That's right, we've been getting asked for years to do product reviews on the different products that we use while we go outdoors, while we camp, while we hike, things like that. So we're finally gonna start rolling out and get into it. And we're starting with something new today. This is a new product. We have not used it yet, so this is a kind of a first glance, first look, initial pop-up. I just got it out of the package today. I was so excited. And so we popped up at a local park. We're gonna pop it up, but we are going camping for Memorial Day, so I'll be able to give you a whole in-depth review after that. But right now, it's kind of our intro to it all. And so we are starting with something very, very special. It is the Wawona 4-person tent from the North Face. With this being year 5 of Big Camp, we really wanted to put some intentionality behind the brand and products we were using. And so that made us kind of do some research online, obviously looking at best tents, even looking at brands that we've worked with in the past, and we wanted to switch it up a bit. So we're going with that Wawona 4-person tent from the North Face. Read some reviews on it, watched a couple videos on it, and it seemed like a good choice for us, especially when it comes to the group style that we have. And so I'm gonna whip this thing out the bag, set it up, go over it briefly, just point out some key features I can note off firsthand, and then again, we'll give you a more in-depth review later. One thing we also grabbed is the Wawona 4-person footprint for this tent. Now, you may be asking, what the hell is a footprint? Maybe you know, maybe you don't. I for sure didn't know what a footprint was. And so I realized that basically a footprint is in comparison to a tarp. Typically, you would want to put something under a tent to make sure that you keep the base, healthy, or you don't cause any damage to it via rocks or sticks or anything like that. So you put something down before you put your tent on top. And so as a brand, we always use tarps. They're easy to find, easy to buy. And so we wanted to go for a cleaner look, and typically a lot of tents and brands that sell tents will have a footprint that goes with that tent. So it gives more of that sleek look, and it kind of fits the bottom of the tent like a glove versus a tarp that might hang over, look kind of funky and weird in pictures and videos, stuff like that. So we'll set up the footprint and we'll set up the tent. We'll put the whole thing together, and yeah, from there, I'll kind of talk more about it and give you guys a review. All right, so first things first, it does come in a really cool little bag, like so. A lot of tents come in a bag like this, don't get me wrong, but it's North Face, it's kind of swaggy, it looks kind of cool. You can throw it over the shoulder, I guess, if you want. Let me not mess the mic up, Jesus Christ. You can throw it over the shoulder if you want, I guess, kind of like these. I think I've seen somebody on the picture do this. Yeah, not too bad. I don't think we had too many tents where it was just kind of easy to toss it over the shoulder. It's light, I believe it says the website is 13 pounds, either 13 or 15, something like that. So not too heavy, but it's pretty solid. Got the branding, as you can see. Yeah, the North Face. Yeah, so cool little bag. Yellow joint, we got the, I think the colors is like asphalt and yellow. It's gray and yellow. There's another like orange and gray option as well, which I thought was pretty cool, but it just, it seemed like a bit much, especially because the tent itself was orange. And we go through a lot of different terrains. I just wanted to keep a cool aesthetic. Definitely wanted to go with something else pretty neutral, so gray it is. So let's pop this thing open. Boom. All right, and boom, we got her up. The Wawona 4-person tent. Okay, so I'll say me executing on this setup, one, I thought my camera was recording the whole time, but to go look at it, it got me for like the first 3 or 4 minutes maybe, and that was it. I would say in total though, it probably took me around 20 minutes to set up by myself, which, it is a very simple process to set up. I just think it's pretty big, and so one person doing it definitely makes it a bit time consuming. I would say the trickiest part was definitely putting on the cover over, which is what you kind of see here. Just figuring out which side is front and which side is back. Now that it's up, I know that the North Face logo is the door in the front. So if you see that in the front, the back is the rest. So just to note when you're putting on that guard, and it is hard because you gotta kind of toss it over the tent. The tent is pretty tall too. I'll put down like kind of all of the weight, height, width, all those things in the video. But yeah, that so far the setup wasn't too bad. It's really cool because the latches or hooks that the poles go into are color coded. and it matches the pole. So for instance, like the lime pole goes into the lime hole. Like it makes it pretty easy. Lime pole, lime hole. The black hole that is for the door is black, so you know to put it in the black pole. So that makes it a bit easier. The same thing with the weather guard too, so super simple there. Yeah, honestly, it was a pretty easy setup. I wouldn't backpack with it, but if you are car camping or pulling up to a space or a spot, and just pulling your tent out, this makes a ton of sense to use. Next, I'm gonna take a deep dive into the inside of the tent and just point out a couple features that I note while I'm inside. And then, yeah, we'll circle back around from there. All right, y'all, so I'm not gonna lie to you. I decided to scratch putting the footprint under the tent. One, because my tent's already built, and I really just don't feel like sliding under it. I could see where, in a setting where I'm outside camping, which I will do for Memorial Day, I could see where I would build the tent on top of the footprint, make it a lot easier. But right now, just being one person, I definitely just don't feel like fighting with this tent to get this under there and perfect it. How it works is the footprint goes directly under the tent and it should fit it like a glove. I know I've mentioned that a few times right now, but yes, just like a glove. It should be straight on it. And that allows it to where when, let's say it rains, for instance, the rain would roll straight off of the weather guard onto the ground. It should not build up on the footprint, which it does do on a tarp that hangs off. The water starts to build up, which could cause, some damage to the tent and could even cause some flooding in the tent. It also has this spot in the front that kind of looks as it acts as a welcome mat, where you might be able to like leave some of your boots outside of your tent on that versus having to bring them inside the tent to avoid any critters or anything like that. So that's pretty cool as well. And that is it on our footprint. Now let's get into the tent. All right, so this is the tent with the weather guard up. I just kind of folded it up and put it on top, which it fits pretty well. I didn't see anywhere for you to like latch it. Like usually it'd be like a little, they don't have that. But I rolled it up, popped it on top. It worked, it's sitting there. It's a windy day too, so it would have flew over by now. Seems like it's working fine, so that's cool. Let's unzip, take a look inside. Let's point out some key features. I'm gonna slide my shoes off though, because it's a new tent. I gotta keep the thing fresh. And we don't do shoes in the tent. No shoes in the tent. Kick them off before you walk in there. It's like your house. Don't walk around your house with shoes on. Especially after you hiked, you got bugs and ticks and all the things. Yeah, so get to it. All right, so first things first, I noticed it is mad spacious in here. I mean, I'm touching wall, but like this is pretty good. 4-person tent. I can see how you put 4 people in here. For me, myself, I'm probably going 2 to 3 people in here. I think it fit pretty comfortably. It is like rectangle-ish shaped almost. It's not a complete square, which I think would allow you to put like a queen mattress in here too, and it'll fit pretty well. But yeah, even sides. I'm standing straight up in here. This is a vibe. There's a ton of pouches in here for just like more storage as well. Like pouch, 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 pouch. Probably a couple more. I don't know, but feels good. I am noticing that there aren't any zippers inside other than this window, which lets me know, is this a door? This might be a door too. Back door? Back door, okay. So there's a back door. Then there's also another one, there's like a window guard here as well. But one thing I am noticing is that there isn't any ventilation that you can access from the inside of the tent. All of the ventilation is accessed from the outside. I noticed it while I was putting on that rain guard, that weather guard. There are like, it is ventilation, so like there are vents that I can like see through here. So even if it is raining and it's hot, like you'll still get some fresh air in up here. However, you can't open it and close it from inside. You have to open and close it from outside. Which may be a bit annoying if it's like bad weather or nighttime or something like that. Like you just can't access it from inside the tent. Little bleh. Don't know why they kind of built it like that, but I can kind of see it too, I guess. I don't know, whatever. If that's the one complaint I got, I think that's it. But other than that, standalone, this is pretty solid. I mean, this room, like probably can't even see me no more, but like I can lounge in here. This is cozy, like. And so, oh, more pouches. Another pouch, another pouch. Yeah, so excited to see what we can do in here, but I think this is pretty solid. Again, 2 to 3 people. 2 people are mad comfortable. 3 people Still pretty comfortable, a lot of room, 2 doors of access, 2 really big windows along with a lot of ventilation. And then if it's, it's warm, the weather's good, you just take the guard off and you're good there too. So, all right, y'all, that's all I got for you. The Wawona 4-person tent in the gray and yellow. I gotta say, off first glance, off first layout, all the things, I love it. I think it's a really cool tent. I like how sleek it is. I like how it looks. I think it'll look great with all the national parks and places we go to. It'll blend in really well. Not in a camouflage way, but it just doesn't, I don't know. We like a very neutral vibe. And so this is very neutral. It's chill, it's relaxed. A lot of companies use these crazy colors. And while I think some of those things are really cool sometimes, for our aesthetic, it's really something that we hit on. It's just like the neutrality of it all. So I love the colorway. I love how easy it was to set up, though it does take some time as a single person. And I mean, it's not supposed to be by yourself. It's a Wawona 4, like it's meant for 4 people. I know North Face does carry smaller tents that are for like single person or backpacking. So look into those if that's something you want. This is definitely not for backpack country, like roughing it type of, I won't say roughing it, you can rough it in the tent, don't get me wrong, but it's just not for like a backcountry vibe where you have to carry everything again and hike miles. Like you don't want a 13 to 15 pound tent on you. So I wouldn't suggest it for that. However, I do think it's great for, again, car camping, just pulling up to a spot and, just hopping out. I think this is great for it. A ton of room in there and space, as you guys saw. I was hanging on in there pretty heavy. I could stretch out. 2 or 3 of us are definitely comfortable in that space. It doesn't take up too much ground room, but there is a lot of room there. It's pretty tall. I have no complaints. Easy setup. Again, just remember some of the tips and tricks to putting on that weather guard, because that could be a little tricky if you're by yourself. But yeah, just remember the North Face sign goes in the front, and you should be good to go. Match up the poles with the colors, you're good to go. Other than that, enjoy the tent, man, if you liked it. Again, this is part 1. I'll do a part 2 after we do the trip during Memorial Day. And so that video will come out probably like that week. And with that being said, yeah, just, kind of hang out. If you like what you saw here, like, follow, subscribe, many more. Wild Big Camp as well is an organization that provides opportunities for people who aren't used to going outside to go outside. Alongside reviews like this, you'll see other videos that talk about different places that we go to, things that we do. We travel all across the country and we camp. That's literally what we do. Camp, hike, fish, all the things. That's Wild Big Camp in a nutshell. We like to provide resources, knowledge, opportunity to people who just haven't been outside and provide them with those experiences to do so. And so we love to just give tips and tricks of the trade. So you'll see those reviews of different people, places, and things. You'll see some of our adventures, stuff like that. If you are into all those things, like, follow, subscribe. Yeah, and we'll see you on the next video.